Hello, my supernatural and superhuman friends. Welcome to Dark and Divine Encounters, the podcast where the supernatural meets the extraordinary. I'm your host, Denise Dodge, and each episode I'll be guiding you through the mysterious realms that lie just beyond our understanding. Here, we explore real paranormal encounters that range from the unsettling to the uplifting, proving that the paranormal world is as diverse and complex as our own fleshy lives. So prepare yourself for two true tales each episode, one eerie and the other light. Life is a mix of trials and triumphs, and I've seen the paranormal is no different. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and follow us on social media for updates. If you're listening on Spotify, give me 5 stars if you could. New episodes drop every Wednesday until the season ends, which is for 2024, that's the end of November. And please note, this podcast features stories of paranormal activity and true crime, which may contain details or descriptions of events and incidents that may be unsettling or triggering for some listeners. So take care of your needs first and always. Today for our dark segment, we're taking you to England, where we will delve into the eerie history and chilling tales surrounding the Anguished Man Painting. The Anguished Man Painting embodies a dark and mysterious entity that has been baffling its owner since he obtained it from his grandmother. Have you ever wondered if a piece of art could harbor a malevolent spirit that affects all who come near it? We're going to be talking about it today. And for our divine segment, get ready to embark on a fascinating journey through Japan. We're going to explore the enchanting pilgrimage that seeks blessing from the legendary 7 lucky gods. Visiting the 7 lucky gods in Japan is a time-honored New Year pilgrimage believed to bring prosperity, happiness, and good fortune to its devotees. Have you ever wondered if embarking on a spiritual journey could truly transform your life and bring you the blessings of prosperity, happiness, and good fortune that we're all really wishing for? We're going to explore these questions starting now. Enjoy the show, everybody. In the realm of the supernatural, objects often carry more than just physical presence. They can harbor energies, emotions, and some believe even malevolent entities. Imagine inheriting a painting, not just any painting, but one infused with the artist's own blood, said to encapsulate his torment and anguish. Could such a creation like the Anguished Man Painting truly hold a sinister force within its canvas? Today we ponder whether inanimate objects can indeed become vessels for something beyond our understanding, especially when the essence of human suffering is intimately involved. When a man inherits a strange painting from his grandmother, bizarre happenings begin to manifest within his home. This is the story of the Anguished Man Painting of Cumbria, England, and this particular story, like the painting itself, is an unsettling one. Around 2010, a man named Sean Robinson has just inherited this painting from his grandmother. But unlike other works of art, this one is grotesque. It's terrifying, and it makes one ponder the mental internal stability of the artist who made it. Although no one knows for certain how it came into Robinson's grandmother's possession, the painting had apparently been within the family for 30 years, and it spent 25 of those years in the attic. She said that she had put it in there because there was something evil about it. Within the 5 years that the painting was visibly present in her home, numerous bizarre things began to occur. The legend goes that the man who painted it used his own blood within the painting itself. He was mixing it with the oils and drip by drip, allowing his essence to become infused with the canvas. Although the time frame of its production is unknown, the artist behind it allegedly ended his own life after finishing this masterpiece. After possessing this painting known as the Anguished Man, Robinson's grandmother began to have experiences that she just could not explain. She saw a dark and ominous figure of a man throughout her house. Sometimes it was out of the corner of her eye, and other times it was directly in front of her. Imagine being older and possibly living alone and starting to see this spectral, scary man wandering through your home, seemingly stalking you from the shadows. It is certainly more than enough to fuel your nightmares. This prompted her to move the painting into the attic. She expressed her fear of it, and she was concerned what would happen if she got rid of it. As far as we know, given the information available, these apparitions ceased once the painting was stowed away and isolated in the attic above. At least that is what the grandma claimed. Hey there, fellow adventurers. Please allow me just a moment of your time to introduce to you my affiliate sponsor. It's Viator, the world's leading resource for finding and booking the best travel experiences worldwide. I have fallen in love with Viator. They offer online and mobile access to thousands of trip activities, from tours and attractions to shore excursions and private guides in over 1,500 destinations worldwide. They're international. So whether you're planning a trip abroad or just exploring your local area, Viator has something for everyone. For example, right here in Tucson, where I live, they have a morning hot air balloon flight over the city, and let me tell you, it's breathtaking. Viator gives you ultimate flexibility with free cancellation and various payment options to fit any budget or plan. Plus, they have a fantastic loyalty program where you can explore, earn, redeem, and repeat, making each adventure even more rewarding. And because Viator is a TripAdvisor company, you can trust their high-quality standards and reliable reviews. Their 24/7 customer support means that you're never alone, no matter where you are in the world. You could be at a luau in Oahu, a Paris walking food tour, or on a Kilkenny haunted tour in Ireland. And with their Reserve Now and Pay Later feature, you can secure the activities that you don't want to miss without being locked in. You'll get a full refund if you cancel at least 24 hours in advance for most experiences. Make sure to read the program details for each event. So, if you're thinking about your next adventure, whether it's far away or just around the corner, check out Viator. You might even find tours and activities for some of the amazing places we talk about on this show. By using my affiliate link in the show description or show notes, you'll help support this podcast so that I can continue bringing you fun and spooky paranormal stories each week. Happy travels, and thank you so much for listening. Years later, although he had been forewarned by his grandmother, Robinson was not convinced of the supposed evil that inhabited the strange work of art. Being a lifelong horror fan, he was intrigued and decided to take it home. After placing it within the walls of his house, he too began to experience terrifying events that he just couldn't explain. The painting was displayed in an upstairs bedroom, and upon finding its new home, the Anguished Man began to invoke something evil. The activity started small. The day the painting was placed in the house, creaking and footsteps began to be heard, and the activity would only increase from there on out. These creaks and footsteps grew louder and more aggressive. They were soon coupled with tormented, muffled screams that echoed throughout the house. The Robinson family began to see a pitch-black figure wandering through the home, a murky, dark presence with an ever-present set of eyes burning holes into their souls. These episodes disturbed Robinson. He recalled that his grandmother had experienced similar phenomenon, and in the coming months, the family began to experience other hair-raising activities. Banging noises could be heard all throughout the house at odd hours of the day and night, with the activity peaking between 3 and 4 a.m. Along with the previous phenomena, a deep, mysterious crying noise could also be heard more frequently, and you could never track the noise to a single source or a certain place. It seemed to move and be everywhere. As time passed, the haunting force continued to grow stronger. The shadowed man would continue to be seen, observed, crying and whispering, although the family could never decipher what it was trying to say. Alongside these bizarre and creepy happenings, Sean Robinson experienced a horrific visual with his very own eyes. One night, he found himself suddenly awake. As his eyes adjusted, standing at the foot of his bed, he saw a dark figure with a red face. Frozen with fear, Sean realized that what he was seeing was the same figure from the painting, and before he could scream, the figure vanished. Not only would this have been absolutely bone-chilling to experience, but with the activity continuing to escalate, Sean wondered what would be next. Was that apparition an omen of worse things to come? Whether it was the paranormal force or entity that inhabited the painting or something else within the Robinson home, that entity persisted. One night, as the moon hung overhead, Sean Robinson found himself in the kitchen grabbing a drink or a snack. Suddenly, he was startled by a blood-curdling scream. And it was coming from upstairs, from the master bedroom. He recognized this scream. It was his wife. Robinson's wife had been woken up from a sound sleep by having her hair played with and tugged on. Upon feeling for the origin in the darkness and rolling over, she was met face to face with a massive man with sunken eyes and a horrifyingly raspy breath. It shocked and terrified her. At first, she thought her husband was laying next to her, but instead of a reassuring face, she saw something straight out of a horror movie. The Robinson family did their absolute best to try and live normal lives, but the activity only got worse. However, when Robinson's son, Keenan, was pushed down the stairs by something he couldn't see, Sean had enough. He was not sure what would happen if he discarded the painting. He remembered how his grandmother had dealt with it by placing it in the cellar of his home. So he decided to do the same thing. He moved the painting into the cellar, hoping that, just like his grandma, the paranormal stuff would just stop. But the activity somewhat persisted. It calmed down for a little bit following the move, but it didn't fully go away. In the years to come, Sean Robinson began to document the hauntings surrounding the Anguished Man. This documentation began with several months of receiving the painting after he and his family went from skeptics to believers. As of right now, there are about 16 videos documenting various supernatural occurrences within the Robinson home surrounding the object. And these manifestations include apparitions, flashing lights, eerie fogs enveloping the room, and doors opening and closing by themselves, and various objects, including the painting itself, moving all on its own. More recently, it seems that a UK-based paranormal group has assisted Robinson in investigating what could be taking place in the home. They've captured several EVPs, also known as electronic voice phenomenon, during these investigation sessions. I'll be linking Sean Robinson's YouTube channel below so you can see for yourself if you wish. There's also no record, no signature of who the artist is, who created it, none of that. So it's very, very, the origin of the painting is very intriguing. There are also many theories as to what the entity could be or what's causing the activity. The majority of the researchers on the case believe the haunting is an intelligent one, meaning that the entity can communicate with the living and even physically attack, which makes this terrifying. But others think the painting is just a conduit, and it's basically like an open portal between our realm and another realm. And the conduit or this portal allows strange, menacing presences to come through, just like a door. Spirit UK is the professional paranormal team that investigated the Anguished Man painting, and you can watch those also directly on the Anguished Man YouTube channel, and I'll put that link in my show notes and show description. Spirit UK did determine that the painting is possessed by something intelligent, and it does have at least one malevolent entity attached to it, if not additional. You've just heard a chilling history of events that reminds us of the darker side of the supernatural. But here at Dark and Divine Encounters, we know that not all paranormal experiences are filled with fear, so let's shift our focus from here. Sometimes there are divine beings whose intention is to bring hope of a better future and maybe even answer our deepest requests and desires. Our next story will uncover the origins and tales of some celestial guardians who bring wealth, happiness, and longevity to those who seek their favor. Okay, before I hop in, I wanted to preface this last story by saying I did my absolute best to research the proper pronunciation of the names included in this story, and I humbly apologize if I messed any up or I said any of them wrong. I know very little Japanese, so I apologize. Feel free to correct me and reach out to me and let me know what I could have done better. I love to continue learning and improving, but I hope that the heart and the meaning of the story stands out more to you. So I look forward to your thoughts and feedback on that. Thanks, everybody, for being patient with me. So today we set sail on a mystical voyage along the Stiftkoshin, the 7 deities of good fortune. These benevolent beings, each with their own unique charm and blessings, have captivated the hearts and hopes of the Japanese people for centuries. But where did they come from, and how did they evolve into the iconic figures that they are today? Let's take a brief look at their origin. Within the extensive lore of Japanese mythology, the 7 lucky gods stands out as a diverse ensemble, each hailing from a different cultural origin: India, China, and Japan itself. So imagine, if you will, a gathering of gods and saints arriving from distant lands to bless the shores of Japan. Among them, 3 originate from Hindu traditions. There's 1 from Japan, and the rest originally come from China. We will discuss each one in detail. So let's get straight to the gods. We're going to start with Ibisu. Our journey begins with Ibisu, the only deity native to Japan, revered as the god of prosperity and abundance. With a fishing rod in hand and a joyful smile, he symbolizes not only wealth, but the bountiful gifts of the sea, which makes him a great patron for both fishermen and anyone involved with commerce. In the bustling port city of Osaka during the Edo period, there lived a fisherman named Ichiro. Ichiro was known far and wide for his unwavering dedication to his craft and his deep reverence for Ibisu. One stormy night, when the seas roared with fury and waves threatened to capsize his small boat, Ichiro clung to his oars and prayed fervently to Ibisu for safe passage and a plentiful catch. With each wave that crashed against his vessel, Ichiro's faith grew stronger, he believed that Ibisu would guide him through this challenge. As dawn broke over the horizon, Ichiro's boat returned to shore, but it was laden with an abundance of fish, more fish than he had ever caught in one single night. The entire village marveled at the miraculous haul and attributed Ichiro's success to Ibisu's benevolent intervention. From that day forward, Ichiro did continue to honor Ibisu, and his reputation as the luckiest fisherman in Osaka spread far and wide, and it continues to this day to inspire others to seek Ibisu's blessings for their own seaside endeavors. My next one on the list here, we have Daikokuten. So standing next to Ibisu is Daikokuten. Daikokuten often gets mistaken for the fellow god Ibisu because they look pretty similar. So Daikokuten, he also has a jolly appearance. He's very benevolent in nature. Originally an incarnation of Shiva, the Hindu deity. Daikokuten wields a magic mallet and carries a sack that is overflowing with treasures. He blesses anyone that toils in the fields, and he counts among his devotees farmers, cooks, and bankers alike. If you're a hard worker, he's going to love you and he's going to bless you. Hey listeners, let's take quick moment to talk about my last affiliate supporter of the day, Soundcore. When it comes to delivering superior sound quality, unparalleled comfort, and cutting-edge technology, Soundcore is in a league of its own. Soundcore's audio technology is meticulously crafted to bring your favorite tunes, podcasts, and audiobooks to life like never before. Whether you're a music lover, a podcast addict, or someone who needs to focus in a noisy environment, Soundcore's got you covered with products that outperform the competition. And what really sets Soundcore apart is their relentless commitment to innovation. They use advanced technologies like hybrid active noise cancellation, customizable EQ settings through the Soundcore app, and ultra-long battery life that keeps you going all day. Whether you're an audiophile, a fitness junkie, or a party enthusiast, their products are designed with superior sound quality, durability, and style in mind. But that's not all. By choosing Soundcore through my affiliate link, you're not just getting top-tier audio gear, you're also supporting this podcast. Your support allows me to keep bringing you the content that you love, exploring fascinating stories and diving deep into the paranormal. It's a win-win. So if you're ready to elevate your listening experience and support the podcast at the same time, click the affiliate link in the show notes or the show description below. Thank you for your support. Here's to many more episodes together. The next lucky god on my list is Bishamonten. Amidst the group stands Bishamonten, a formidable figure in armor holding a spear and miniature pagoda. Bishamonten is also known as Bishamon and is a Japanese Buddhist Shinto deity who originated from the Indian god king Vaishravana. My next deity, Benzaiten. Benzaiten is a remarkable goddess, and she's our only female. She's sometimes referred to as a kami, which is a type of god or spirit in Shinto belief. Her origins trace back to the Indian goddess Saraswati. As Buddhism spread across the Himalayas into China, Benzaiten evolved, taking on new characteristics before finally arriving in Japan. This blend of beliefs makes Benzaiten an important and multifaceted deity. In Japan, Benzaiten is most commonly associated with luck and wisdom. She blesses her followers with wise words and good fortune. Known for her joyful nature, she is rarely seen without her biwa, a traditional Japanese stringed instrument. Artists of all kinds seek her inspiration. Farmers pray for a bountiful harvest. Merchants hope for prosperous yields. And women look to her for a success in love. During the Edo period, from 1603 to 1868, Benzaiten was especially popular among jealous women seeking her favor over their rivals. She embodied all things that flow: wisdom, music, water, love, knowledge, wealth, and even the march of time itself. Benzaiten is typically depicted as a woman dressed either as a courtesan or a nun, always with her biwa in hand. She often is surrounded by various Buddhist halos and other symbols, both physical and spiritual. Her appearance varies depending on the era, but she is consistently linked to dragons and snakes, very similarly to the Hindu deity Saraswati. Uniquely, Benzaiten is also associated with the appearance of comets in the sky. Perhaps more than any other figure in Japanese religious life, Benzaiten represents the syncretistic mixture of influences that define Japanese religion. She draws from Shinto kami traditions, Buddhist sectarian beliefs, Indian and Chinese spiritual life, and the ever-evolving politics of religion in Japan since the 6th century. This makes Benzaiten a very unique deity. Benzaiten is worshipped at both Shinto shrines and Buddhist shrines. Alongside these deities, she travels around Japan, bringing luck, good fortune, and compassion to all people. My next one on the list is Jurojin. As we turn our attention to Jurojin, a sage-like figure with a scroll of wisdom and accompanied by a white stag or crane, we delve into his Taoist origins. Jurojin symbolizes longevity and is believed to hold the secrets of immortality, embodying the wisdom of the ages. The next deity I have on my list is Fukokuja. In the heart of ancient Japanese mythology, there exists a remarkable deity. Revered as the god of wealth, happiness, and longevity, Fukokuja is a fascinating figure who personifies the southern polar star. According to the Butsuzozuzi, both Fukurokuju and Jurojin are said to inhabit the same body and represent different aspects of the same southern polar star. Fukurokuja is easily recognized by his distinctive appearance with a beard and an unusually elongated forehead. He's typically depicted wearing the traditional garments of a Chinese scholar. In his hands, he holds a cane with a scroll attached to it. Often a tortoise or a crane accompanies him, both of which are symbols of longevity in both Chinese and Japanese cultures. The origins can be traced back to an old Chinese tale about a mythical Taoist hermit sage, renowned for performing miracles during the Northern Song period, which is between 960 and 1279. This hermit, also known as Jurojin, was believed to embody the celestial powers of the southern polar star. And interestingly, this deity was not always included in the earliest representations of the seven lucky gods. Initially, he was replaced by Kiichijoten, the goddess of fortune, beauty, and merit. But over time, Fukurokuju became an established and integral member of this revered group of deities. My last but not least, my seventh deity, my seventh lucky god, is Hote. Hote is the god of contentment and happiness and the guardian of children. Hote has a big, cheerful face, a really big belly, and is easily recognizable and loved by many. Outside of Japan, he is widely recognized as the fat, laughing Buddha. His actual name is Hote. Hote is often depicted carrying a large cloth bag over his back, which never empties. This magical bag holds an inexhaustible supply of treasures, food, and drink, which Hote uses to feed the poor and needy. The Japanese spelling of Hote literally means cloth bag, which is reflecting this essential aspect of his character. In addition to his bag, he holds a Chinese fan, which is known as a wish-giving fan. So in ancient times, this fan was used by the aristocracy to indicate to vassals that their requests would be granted. The origins of Hote can be traced back to an actual person, the itinerant 10th century Chinese Buddhist monk and hermit Bu Daishi, who is said to be an incarnation of Miroku Bodhisattva, or Maitreya in Sanskrit. This cheerful monk with his bald head, his unshaven face, was known for his large belly and ever-present smile. He traveled with a non-folding fan in his right hand and leaned on a large sack filled with endless treasures, providing a horn of plenty for his followers. This deity is often shown surrounded by a group of small children who romp and squeal in delight around his round shape. This joyful image captures the essence of his role as a guardian of children. In modern times, he's known as the patron saint of restaurateurs and bartenders, and when one overindulges in food and drink, it is often jokingly attributed to Hote's influence. In some representations, Hote is depicted with an eye drawn on his back, symbolizing universal vision. He's sometimes confused with Warai Hotoke, which is the smiling Buddha, or Fudaishi, which is the Japanese version of Budaishi, particularly when he assigned to God monastery libraries accompanied by his two sons. In Japan, images of Hote are often made as toys for pulling or tilting. These toys have wheels, and they're called kurumasu, or the rolling monk. Hote's cheerful presence and boundless generosity continues to bring joy and contentment to those who honor him, making him a beloved figure in the Japanese culture and beyond. As we conclude our exploration of the 7 lucky gods, we reflect on their enduring presence in Japanese culture and the annual pilgrimage undertaken to see their blessings every year at New Year's. Whether by visiting one of the many shrines dedicated to these divine figures or by partaking in rituals passed down through generations, the stiff cuisine continues to inspire hope and prosperity in the hearts of the faithful. As we prepare for our second season, we would love to hear your own paranormal experiences. Have you had an encounter with a spirit or experienced something that you just cannot explain? Send us your stories our way, and you might hear them featured in the next season. We always value your thoughts and suggestions for future episodes. If there's a haunted location you want us to discuss, a ghost story you think we should cover, or a question that you want answered, let us know. Your feedback helps us create the content you love, so you can reach out via email, social media, or through our website. Your support helps us keep exploring real paranormal encounters together. And that brings us to the end of this episode today. We've balanced the scales of the paranormal, revealing both the unsettling and the uplifting. Thank you for listening to Dark and Divine Encounters. Until next time, tread lightly but fearlessly.